There we go. All right. There we go. There we go. Almost showtime. We got everything down. There we go. There we go. Awesome. All right. I see Janet in here. I love it. My friends. My friends. Good to see you, Janet. Hey, can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear.
Turn this down a little bit.
Can you hear me?
Awesome.
Can you hear
Can
me?
you hear me? I can't hear you.
I can hear you.
You can hear me. I can't hear you. Why is that? I definitely need to hear you all. That's for sure. I don't want to be the only one with audio. So let's figure that out. All right. Oh, I see comments here. Sipping on it. Oh, what's up, T Kemp? Yeah, not quite similar though. Not quite, but definitely mushroom coffee. Definitely mushroom coffee. All right, let's see here. I thought people could be added to the stage without me doing that. There we go. Let me see. All right, let's wrap that up. Yeah, we're about showtime now. This is top of the hour. All right. Hopefully everybody can use the link and get on. Let me make sure. Yeah, you're unmuted, Janet. You're good. Yeah. On my end, you're unmuted, so you should be good. There's a private chat here. I'll listen. Oh, I got you, Janet. Cool. I see. I'm getting used to this too. It's been a while since I had the StreamYard deal. I saw your message. You're good to go. Awesome. Thanks for being here. And welcome to the first Crypto Coffee and Collabs. This is I wouldn't say a passion project, but it's definitely something that I've always wanted to do for the whole, over the years being in business with other entrepreneurs and solopreneurs and just business owners, just networking and connecting over the internet and Zooms and phone calls. We always had these amazing discussions that left me kind of in awe about just people, just the heart in people, the soul in people, the energy in people. And this is not going to be scripted, by the way. I'm not here to promote anything. This is just something I branded and had an idea, and I was like, I'm going to do it, right? And just jump out on a limb and make it happen, right? And but yeah, back to what I was saying, that's what this is about. You see crypto on the way I'll go there, Crypto Coffee and Collabs, but it's really the collabs is really where the money is, and not necessarily just fiscal. I'm just meaning like the good stuff, right? It said that's where it is. When people have things to say, when people have a platform to share ideas and collaborate instead of compete, beautiful things happen, right? And over the years, I always had those calls or those Zooms, and I'm like, man, I wish we had that recorded. I wish we would have, had that for everybody to hear, or more discussion with more people on the panel, and it's like, man, it's every time we do it, every time we were doing it just because we were just there in the moment. It wasn't something that was scripted or planned, and that's what this is about. I feel like I want to come here every Wednesday and have a place for people to vent, people to have opinions, people to talk, have fun, laugh, cry if you want to, just be emotional, get angry just get the emotion out. We're not going to agree on everything, that's just humanity. That's the way it's supposed to be. I have some people added to the stage here. The ladies are representing today. That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, that's what this is going to be about. And I'm just looking forward to this growing and reaching people that I never thought it could reach. And for me, I have a passion project called Unbanked You. Obviously, the link was unbankedyou.live, but it will unbanked you will be represented here as well, because there's a bigger idea, there's a bigger vision that I have beyond us just having these conversations. I really want people to focus on things that matter, that can really empower them, whether it's fiscally, whether it's emotionally, physically. There's a lot out here.
And
And
you
the
too,
thing
Mike.
that I've learned over the years is that I don't know it all. I can't see it all. I can't hear it all. I can't be everywhere all the time. But when we start to, like Janet here and Amanda here, and individuals start popping on what's called these presentations, conversations, really, these collaborative conversations, we get to learn about what's going on in the world from different perspectives and different angles. And I think that's important, right? So with that said, again, thanks everybody for chiming in that is here, that's tuning in. And we're gonna get started. I had a couple of things on my mind yesterday. I wish I could. Let me see Amanda. I wonder if Amanda's good too. Yeah, she's here. She's on the good friend of mine. Can you hear her? I don't know if I can hear Amanda either.
Oh, I haven't said
Amanda,
anything.
can
I
you
was
hear
just.
me?
Can you guys hear me?
Oh man.
Yes.
Yeah, she did come in good.
Okay.
Okay. So everybody can hear me, but I can't hear you all. But y'all's mics are unmuted. That is weird. That is weird. I definitely didn't want that. Wait a minute. Let me check the settings real quick. Audio. Automatically adjust mic volume, reduce mic background noise. Everybody should be good. Show background, yeah, blah, 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 blah. Just making sure here on the fly here, folks, that we're good. Yeah. Everything should be fine. Go here. Ah, that's my fault. Now you all say something.
Hello.
You go. That was mine. That was me. So setting, but it's weird. When I got on StreamYard this morning, everything looked refreshed, and I'm like, "What's going on?" I was just on here last night setting everything up, so something updated, or something, some kind of code or something went through and knocked everything out. But I'm good now. I can hear you all. Thank you, ladies, for being here.
Mic check. Can you guys hear me?
Loud and clear.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Oh yeah, let's talk. Let's talk. So, Janet, kind of give me a little quick, where you're from, where you're at, what's life, what's going on right now, because we go back, many many years, and in dealings in the crypto space and just life, and we got to know each other very well, and you got to know my family and all that good stuff, and but I'm so excited about what you're working on and what I'm participating on with you as well, with a new project, and it's in crypto and decentralization, and I'm looking forward to that. But just kind of, let's break the ice, and since you are the first person to pop in on the first Crypto Coffee Collabs,
I would love to take a moment to introduce you to Amanda.
Awesome. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Kenneth, I met Amanda online back in 2021 or end of 2020, something like that, because we were both in groups where we were studying law because of all the craziness that was going on. And Amanda was being forced to make some decisions that weren't comfortable for her and her family at that time, by her employer and by, she had to deal with family and, people having, yeah. And I just kind of took her under my wing then. And at the time she had one little girl, and now she has two. And through the things we've studied and the mentors and kind of guru types that we followed, I've been able to introduce Amanda to a few things that I hope have helped her. Some of it, I mean, we've learned a lot about the IRS, the Treasury, the inner workings of behind things.
Oh, we're going there right now. Okay.
Oh, we're going there.
I love it. Hey, this is what this is about. Let's get it out. Let's talk about the value. Yeah, let's talk about what's really going on out here. I love it. I love it.
Is this being recorded or this is just live?
It is recorded. Well, it's live. So kind of. Okay. It's on Facebook, X, and on YouTube. So it is, everybody, the world, if they're there, can see it here. Yeah.
So we just want to be mindful, because we've studied things that are meant to be private, and a lot of people push that envelope. And so that's a whole other conversation, because I can see things with the current project that we're involved in together with crypto, where when you dig way deep, it has to have the private involved, but not necessarily perceived by the public. Anyway, other conversation. Amanda is pretty, I don't know how to, but she's a single mom now, and it hasn't been easy. And she's an accountant. She's really cool. I actually went and stayed with her for 4 or 5 weeks back in February because she really needed some help, and
Right.
she's done some things. She followed a mentor that I turned her on to and had done some big things that probably nobody in her county has done. And shit was getting real, and she was kind of scared because their father, you know, people don't understand what she's doing, and I'll leave it at that.
Right.
Anyway, Amanda, I sometimes call her my faux daughter because I've never had children, but when I bring somebody into something, I don't just wham bam, thank you, ma'am. It's like I'm
Right.
standing by her as best I can, her and her girls. So
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Good story. Yeah, it's yeah, what a rabbit hole that you just yeah, it's you know, I've dove into I got a friend of mine, and I'm having some issues with the link, the Unbanked You Live. I sent it out with the HTTPS, and I think that's conflicting with some people's browsers. But anyway, if you're hearing from people that want to get on, it's unbankedyou.live, or I'll put it in the chat as well. And that should help everybody get access to the stream here. Let me put that in the chat here, unbankedyou.live. That should work. Just copy, paste, send it out. But yeah, I've been down that rabbit hole a lot, actually, you know, when it comes to kind of on the, not so far, but, you know, trusts and different things that you could put in place for who you are, you know, your family, things you've created, your wealth, your assets. You know, there's a whole nother sector of society that has access to information that is not readily available for the 97% per se. You know, it is what it is. But you can't be so naive to think that, you know, you can access that information. It's just really about who you know. It's not what you know, it's who you know. I found that out in life over the last 20, 30 years too. A lot of things have happened in my life based off who I knew, not what I knew, right? Because that person knew what I needed to know, right? And I trusted them, and so on, so forth and so on. So yeah, that space is very interesting indeed. But when you start diving in there, you know, you'll get called all kinds of names and all kinds of, you know, you get all kinds of looks like, you're doing what? You know, how does that work? And is that real, or is it a conspiracy? You know, all this stuff starts happening, but you start realizing that you know, yeah, it's not. It's all legitimate. It's all real. Mr. O'Kane, how you doing, sir?
All right, how you guys doing?
My God, Mr. O'Kane, good to see you. Yeah, we got started. Sorry about that link. I think I had an S in front of that HTTP, and it was throwing everybody's you know, search for the live off. But I appreciate you being here, man. But yeah, so, you know, Amanda, you can have, you know, you want to talk for a second here, just, you know, chit chat, or, you know, have something to say. You want to, you know, talk about Janet, that's fine. I'm great to meet you. You know, number one, great to hear a little bit of your story, but you know, I'm looking forward to hearing more, and you know, seeing what transpires as we, you know, get to know each other better, and we collaborate, right? So go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'm excited to be here. Janet's always the one sending me different things to try, so I appreciate her for that.
Yeah.
To hop on different bandwagons, but
right.
Yeah, I mean, she kind of gave you the best nutshell for me right now. But actually, at some point, and I know this is not what this is all about, I would like to meet with you about the whole wallet thing and getting that stuff going, because I do not know what I'm doing. So
yeah, you know, it's and that's when I built the system. You know, for most people that are here know I've been building a platform called Unbanked You and the mywalletsetup.com, and it caters to a person just like you. You're the perfect individual that I can't wait to help, because, you know, I've been doing this for 10 or 11 years, helping people set up their crypto wallet, you know, understand the technology, make transactions, get their keys in their vault. That stuff is very, very important. So 10 or 11 years of doing that, I realized I need to just make it a product and really help people, right? Because I started looking back, over the last couple of months, I've been heavy into AI, all the stuff going on in AI. I mean, every day that changes. Every day
Right.
there's something new. It's almost impossible to keep up with. So I was just thinking, like, there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of stuff going on. And I was like, I don't know if I should be just focusing right here because it's just too much happen. It's just moving too fast, right? Everyone has the information. So I just thought about it. I said, what are people missing? Because when you see a lot of, I wouldn't say conflict, but just a lot of conversation going on about a certain topic, there's always something else behind the scenes that you kind of want to focus on. It comes to our, our government and our, our country as well. When they've got you looking at one place, trust me, there's something going on somewhere else,
yeah.
right? So I started thinking, and I was just sitting back, and I just was thinking about the past and what I could do and how I could, bring value. And I just started thinking. I started doing some research, and I researched because of everything that's happened over the last, really 5-6 years in crypto and in blockchain. Just how many people have started to adopt the tech, and it still was staggering numbers. Like 97% of people still hadn't downloaded a wallet after all this institutional money, after all the, the things that we've seen in society. Think about it. The Staples Center in LA is now called crypto.com arena, right? Like stuff like that has happened. You look on the sports and you watch sports, soccer and, NBA or whatever, NFL, there's Coinbase on the field and on the court.com. What is that? What? So apparently somebody thinks there's value here. Why aren't the people valuing this information, right? So I said, okay, let me go back to square one, let me go back to the ground floor and really look at what's taking place. And I started realizing that I have a passion for this. I started realizing that this is something that I've been doing. I want to help people enter the crypto space the right way the first time and never have to worry about being scammed and losing money and, and not understanding what's taking place on a day in and day out basis when it comes down to their finances, right?
Right.
And to their unbanked situation, because that's really where the name came from. Because I started realizing, similar to what Janet was saying earlier, the banking system, it's a system, right? And to be able to, let me mute Kenny out here. I think he's got a little background. Yeah. To be able to understand it, you got to go down a rabbit hole, right? The Fed Reserve and just so many, you can just do your own due diligence. We'll talk about some of that stuff here too, but man, there's a whole nother world, out there to understand and to really, to grasp and to really understand, like, wow, I don't have to do that, and that's what I started realizing. So that's where this whole unbanked you movement, if you want to call it, came from. I just started really realizing that I had a gift, I had a passion, and I have a history. And I still have people call me, occasionally reach out to me and say, hey, Ken, remember when you gave me that $5 in Bitcoin for my birthday? Or, hey, I appreciate you helping me, set up my account. I have a crypto portfolio, blah, blah, blah. A lot of things you taught me. So I realized, that's what my last effort in life is to really help people go from the banking system that we're traditionally brought up in to the unbanked system, meaning not necessarily unbanking yourself 100% from the banking system, but having another option, having another opportunity to create for yourself where you have more control, more leverage, more earnability, more sovereignty, all these things that we start talking about. These are the things that, that I wanted to do. So that's why I put it together, and I'm excited about it because I'm already kind of seeing the light switch go off for people like, okay, yeah, I need that help. I need to learn from the very, very ground floor, starting at what is a wallet? Why is it important? How does it work? How do I secure it? How do I protect it? How do I use it? How do I put it, in a position where, I have more leverage when it comes to my money? Because the banking system, they're doing all those things. They're taking your deposits, right? Number one, the money's not yours once you put it in their account. It's theirs. Just know that right off the jump. It's no longer your money. And I'm not going to go down a rabbit hole and get super passionate about this, but this is not what this was about. But I just wanted to kind of set the stage for why unbanked you matters to me so much, because people need to know, there are other opportunities. There are other options out there, and they're real, right? Because they're using them. You look right now, with what's going on with the institutions and the banking system. They're planning to flip the switch and go digital and have you continue to be in their system, but just in crypto. They're adopting the technology. They could not beat the technology and lie about the technology and talk down about the technology any longer. They realized you can't beat them, join them, right? So it's interesting, but that's a whole nother rabbit hole, a big one that I plan to go down. But this is more about, you know, those ideas and those commitments that I made. And this is when I want, and my good friend, Coach D, Demetrius Etheridge, is on right now. He's one of the individuals that is the reason why I feel like this will be super valuable, because we used to have these conversations, you know, day in and day out, you know, a couple times a week, and have a setting of maybe 20, 30 individuals. And we just shooting the breeze. We're having conversation, and nobody wanted to leave. After we were like, okay, guys, gals, we're out of here. Have a good day. And people just hanging around like, we're not done. We love this. We want to talk more. We want to hear more. We want to vibe more. We want to communicate more. And it's something that was so necessary for me to do now, because of the times and the places that we are in life. And it's just, that's what Crypto Coffee and Collabs is really about. It's not about necessarily just crypto, but it's about the ideas, the collaboration, the value you bring, your experience, life in general. All those things are the things that I want people to get out and trying to just, you know, just let it out, you know, whether it's emotional, whether it's strategy, whether it's, you know, whatever it is, you know, whatever it is. It can be about your business. It can just be about life. I mean, we got a lot of stuff going on in society right now, a ton of stuff culturally, you know, on the business side, you know, politically, it's a lot going on. But what good is it if we don't talk about it and have, you know, these opinions kind of butt heads and come to an agreement, or even continue to have our own opinions? That's what humanity is about, right? That's what this is for. So Coach, I see Coach D, this gentleman here, man. What can I say? He's like a brother to me. You know, we talk probably on a daily. If a day goes by and I don't have a conversation with this gentleman, I am shocked. You know, not shocked. I'm just like, it's life, you know, but I know it ain't gonna be for long, right? So, you know, got a lot of respect for this gentleman and the things that he's accomplished in life, and just his values and his character. It's just, I can go on and on. Similar to Janet, you know, just good people. You know, I think that's another mantra of mine. You know, never burn bridges with quality people beyond, you know, outside of business. When you know a person's good, they got a good heart, they got a good soul, they got a good spirit, they got good energy, man, hold on to those people, man. They'll take you places, you know, and they'll also pick the phone up when you need them. You know,
I used to say that back then when
yeah,
when we witnessed a lot of greed and what have you in another project. But I used to say that you guys are missing it, because the real gold is in the relationships. I mean, there's no other way. And there was another point that I kind of wanted to make, backing up a bit. But if your friend, is it Demetrius? Yes, Coach D. If welcome. I mean, I don't want to just hog the talking stick. I wanted to comment on
it's a lot.
Well, back why I'll say it real quick, and then if we go down that road, we can. But you know, I've studied law, old law, all this stuff, and yeah, there's a lot of skepticism, and yeah, you can look at things as the good guys and the bad guys and the black hats and the white hats and all. And yes, in 1933, a lot of things happened, and the gold was taken or whatever, and we were given another way to pay. And yes, and I've seen it, I've done it. You know, you get a quote unquote bill or a statement, and you can turn it into a money order, and with your signature, you can, when you know what you're doing, you can use it to pay a bill. It works some of the time, whatever. But my point is, things, yeah, a lot happened in 1933, and there was a lot of greedy people who wanted to put all of humanity into slavery. I think that is real.
Sure.
But they're all, you know, gold and silver in our pockets is kind of clunky. And I've gone back and forth. I mean, I was really into crypto, and I was always kind of like, oh, I hope I'm not being a Pied Piper when I help this other organization build. But when it comes down to it, these are the times we're in. There are a lot of difficult things about going through a reset, but you know, kids are younger. We're not going to go back to the 1850s. Who wants to? You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm a big nature lover, but I also like to travel, and I don't, you know, it's like I need things to be easy. I need to be able to move quickly. I need to be able to, you know, have cause and effect with as many people or as few people. I need the options. So I'm just not, I'm going to roll with the times. I have my own limits as to what I will and will not participate in. But here I am backed on, and it's not so much a bandwagon anymore. I mean, I look at my own family.
Hmm.
Uh,
Here we go.
yeah, and it's like my brother,
No.
who's very successful in real estate. I mean, he's got his double masters. He basically contracts for the government. He finally retired. He's played his life simple. I mean, he years ago bragged because he's never smoked pot. It's like, dude, you're missing. I'm not saying you should, but it's like
All right.
there's a sense of humor you're never going to get
I
because
love this. I love this.
you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
the stick up your, you know what?
Yeah, real talk. Real stuff.
When we, you know, I was at my mom's house when I was sitting there and I watched on January 1st, 2017. I sat there and I watched Bitcoin hit 1,000 and I was like, yeah, right on. Now there's my brother on Facebook posting, it's tulips. It's never going to be a new economy, blah, 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 blah. Now, none of these people, now I did have, I'll say one more thing and then I'll wrap it up and give the talking stick away. I talked to a man who grew up across the street from me. He and his now husband live in Tennessee. And we were talking, they had a house on some island. And he had told me if I ever wanted to use his house, I could use it. So I called him up to get information about his house. And he said, what are you doing these days? And I said, I'm into crypto. And he said, what? And I said, you've never heard of Bitcoin? And he said, Bit what? And I said, yeah, let me know if, I said, it's a new thing. Let me know if you want me to help you set up a wallet. That's what I help people do. Well, we talked about other things. About a year later, he texted me out of the blue and said, now here's my brother saying, tulip, stay away, whatever. Well, sorry, John, but Mark across the street, who's a savvy investor, I never shared Mark's story, but to circle back, Mark texted me a year later and said, Janet, thanks so much for the tip on Bitcoin. I made $92,000 last year, but he's like, and he's very, he's like, that's too volatile for me. I'm not going to do it again, but I'm still invested in crypto. So anyway, there you have it. I'll take it. Thanks for doing this. I love it.
I mean,
love it.
Yeah, this is what it's about. You know, I want everybody to get their stories out and just share value, you know, share things that, you know, that are relative, real, raw, relevant things, you know, that just make sense. That just, yeah, we can agree upon like, yeah, you know, and whether you agree or not, or maybe you're learning something for the first time. That's what this is all about. So I'm gonna queue up a slide for everybody here while I let Coach D is kind of like he's also known as Coach D, Demetrius Etheridge, kind of share from the heart. You know, this is what we do. This is really why I knew this was going to work, because we'd be on calls, me and Coach, right, and we talk, and other people will have conversation, and we just bounce ideas, and we realize it's been an hour and a half, and this is good stuff, right? And we're like, man, we wish we would have recorded that. You know, that we'd always say that, man, I wish we would have recorded that. And then, but it's funny how I wouldn't say we ran from that concept, but we never just said, man, let's just do it, you know, and have this type of open venue for people to vent or whatever, to just have conversation about things that matter to them and can connect other people, right? So, Coach, the floor is yours, man. I already introduced you, you know, hey, incredible individual, working on some amazing projects. Share that too, Coach. Talk about it, because Janet tapped on that. I know you had a little issue with the link, but Janet was speaking on some of the things that you have a hand in right now in a very major way. I'm excited about that, man. So, Coach, who are you? What you got going on? Why are you excited? What's life like right now? Take it away, man. Appreciate you.
Well, thanks, Ken. Hi, Janet. I say, Kenny, what's going on? And I see Amanda. That's what I can see. I don't know who's all on here, but hey,
Yeah.
My name is Demetrius Etheridge. I go by Coach D. I'm located right here in the great city of Loganville, Georgia, right outside of Atlanta. You know, born and raised here. I didn't come down here in the wintertime, as I tell everybody, from up north and never went back.
Right.
You know, a lot of those people from up north, they come down south and they never go back. They can wear they, so me, I'm a retired military veteran. I served 24 years in the military, all in the field of communications. And I just like helping people, man. I've been in from high school, being in student government, class president, playing sports, going into the military 2 days after high school. I've just always been around people, and I've always been open to learn things. Always have, because when I went in the military, I just never really understood what I did in the first 8 weeks of boot camp. I didn't think about it till after 24 years after I retired. And then as I got into business, I started thinking about how that 8 weeks really shaped me for the rest of my life. And I think sometimes we don't pay attention to our life experiences until we're too late, because we're not taught to pay attention to the things that shapes us and forms us. We just do them because the structure that we're in or the system that we're in tells us this is what you should do, and this is how you should act, and this is the way you should move. And we follow that until we get to a point in life when we're like, hold on,
Hmm.
I'm following the system, but it's not working.
Hmm.
I always tell people STEM. I've been on this word for the last 2 days, STEM, in the system, STEM. We all say system when we talk about network marketing. We say save yourself stress, time, energy, and money. But take the SY off, because that's the part that we're responsible for. We never save ourselves because we're too stressed. We don't have enough time. We lack energy, and we're losing money.
Hmm.
So STEM, that's what we're doing. But we know in the education realm, STEM is really powerful now. If your kids are taking STEM classes, your nephews and nieces, they're smart because there's in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. But when you look at the system, when you put it all together, if you don't understand how system works, as Ken said, with this my wallet system, with this system, if you don't understand how it works, you're gonna miss it. You're going to miss what's the purpose of that system. We can look at the financial system, judicial system, the banking system. It doesn't matter. They all have system.
Hmm.
And each and every one of us we're supposed to learn the system so we don't have to get distracted and we just learn what STEM means. We get stressed, we lose time, we lose our energy, and we lose our money because we're not paying attention. We didn't save yourself by doing your own due diligence. And that's what each and every one of us is doing right now. We're doing our due diligence right now. Even though we're talking to Ken, we're on this live. This is a form of doing your due diligence with people that have the same mindset as you. They might not look like you, act like you, talk like you, walk like you, think like you, but there's a key component to where we're all here together and we're going in the same direction. We're trying to get to the same end result about crypto wallets. But we gotta understand that the system that we all been programmed into believing is not the one that's gonna help us. And it's not no controversy, no conspiracy theory. It's just real human beings coming together, having conversations, and being able to have dialogue and express ourselves. So, Ken, I thank you for stepping out on your faith and your belief, because we talk about this all the time. I tell him all the time, I say, man, you got so much knowledge, so much wisdom, being that gardener that he is in the garden. I'm always giving him analogies about that.
Man.
Bring it out and just come out and be free, y'all.
Yeah.
Just come out and be free and be able to have an adult conversation without allowing our emotions to mess us up.
Right.
Because if you stay online long enough, you're gonna get emotional. Somebody gonna post something, say something, do something, and it's gonna drive you crazy. You're gonna go down a rabbit hole. But you better have somebody in your circle, in your system, that you can call and pull you back out. So, Ken, I'm gonna turn it back over to you, man. Let's go.
Yeah, Coach, I think you said a couple of things. Number one, you were mentioning the wallet setup, and I was telling everybody in the beginning, it's about that. But really, the more I thought about the crypto coffee collabs, this event that we're part of here, it's really about the collabs more than everything else.
Hmm.
Kenneth, you're muted.
Yeah, you went out. Look, he lost some
Oh, we
audio.
lost him.
Yeah, he'll jump back in. So,
Coach, what other kind of things have you studied while we're waiting?
oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
There you go. Well, I'm a licensed life insurance agent. and life and health agent. So I really structure on the financial side of making sure people have everything set up the right way. They will, power, attorney, and trust, all that is in the right place, structured correctly, because all three of those directives need to be together in order for it to be able to help you and your family in your time of need. So it's all about making sure people understand those three structures and putting everything into their trust the right way, all their assets. And I love digital marketing, so I help people give their presence out there. When it comes to marketing, there's some simple stuff we can do to learn strategy. So I love putting complex strategies, making them simple, and allowing people to learn them, apply them, so they can see the benefit from them.
That sounds great. That's exciting. Cool.
Thank you. I don't know if Ken, I saw him pop in for a second. So waiting on Ken. So Janet, what are you into? What are your passions?
Well,
That's a loaded question.
no, actually, okay, to sum it up real well, because I've always
There we go.
the concept of know thyself.
Mm-hmm.
And I've paid attention to astrology, all those different ways that tools that are given to us to decode ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I'm open to simulation theory. I'm open to some way out shit. Oops.
There we go.
And I recently I'm working on a decode for myself that's multi-layered with human design, all kinds of astrology. Okay.
Good as you're good. You're good. Hey, I had
good.
a little conflict there with my technology. You know how that always happens. But I was just about to get into it. Where did I leave off?
Just walked in, so I had to mute out.
It's
Okay,
all good.
no problem.
It's all good. It's all
Oh
good.
no, Ken, I was just in. You was at your. You say you was bringing up a slide. Or something.
Yeah. Bring up a slide. I was, and then I realized it just cut my mic and my camera off. I stayed on the presentation or the conversation though. So here we go. I'm going to bring this up because it kind of it speaks to what Janet was talking about, and I think it's important because whether people have an opinion about what's going on in the space or not. Can you all see that? Let me know you can see the crypto exchange article. Can y'all see it?
No, we can't see it.
Okay, here we go. Let me go back here.
Can I finish
at the stage?
thought
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
Just because I was right there, doing my own working on this decode, it shows me how on track I am with my life because, I'm going to just say it. I'm 63 now, and it's like I look at my life and I look at the ways in which people my age are in other positions, and I'm just not there. But going through this decode, what it says is I'm very tribal. I am all about, like, I never had children, but it's like I am all about securing resources for my tribe and helping my tribe move forward. I mean, that's the thing that gives me the most gratitude, is to see my tribe succeed.
I lost Janet.
There you
Y'all
go.
still here?
Yeah, we're here. I can hear her.
Oh, I don't know. For some reason I lost.
She's good. Yeah, I know that something's going on with tech. We don't have control over the technology. It's in and out. It's hot and cold. It's up and down. But here it is. So can y'all see this? I want to make sure y'all can see this. Crypto exchange Kraken is trying to become a bank in Europe. Can you see that?
Yes.
I can. Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
So back to what Janet was saying in her, I think with your brother Janet. So you can have an opinion all you want, but this is what I started realizing. A long time ago. Back in 2016, Janet Yellen, we could pull that up too, probably at a later date. But if y'all research Janet Yellen in 2016, she was speaking to Congress, the Senate, and she was saying, we have no jurisdiction, we have no authority, we have no control, power over this technology. And she was basically handing over the banking concept to people. And so what I was saying to myself is that it actually worked. Like the white paper that said we're eliminating the intermediary parties in between the value exchange, the banks, the institutions, they no longer matter in how we move money digitally. That's what it said. And they tried to throw the FUD at it, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and try to lie about it. They were sneaky like Jamie Dimon, the whole a lot of us that are in crypto, we know the story. You know, they were saying, don't do it, it's a fraud. And they were even laying off their employees that were caught moving crypto and buying Bitcoin. It was crazy. It's a very volatile time. But all the while they were saying all that, what were they doing? Building infrastructure. So fast forward to here. Now you look at what Coinbase and, you know, all these exchanges are doing. They're becoming banks. They want to be the bank. Everybody's running to be the new digital bank. Well, Kraken has the upper hand because they're already established in crypto. So if you just, articles like this are everywhere is all I'm saying. You can just do some due diligence and says Kraken, the cryptocurrency exchange, planning to go public in the US, is pursuing a full banking license in Europe with a focus on Lithuania as the jurisdiction to secure it, according to a person familiar with the plans. So I'm not going to read anymore. I'm just telling you, that's what Bank of America and Chase and Wells Fargo and many, many banks that on the other side of the deal, the traditional banks are wanting to become crypto banks, right? I don't know. Somebody got a lot of background noise. Who's that? Me?
That was me.
No, you? Oh, yes, you. So no problem. But the traditional banks are looking to become crypto banks, essentially. So it's a crazy dynamic when you look at what's going on. Kraken's trying to go from a crypto exchange to become an actual bank. And then the banks that we're familiar with are trying to go from banks to become actual crypto exchanges and banks in crypto.
Well, and to add to it real quickly,
yeah,
we should all become banks because Starbucks is a bank. Their
Oh.
app, you know, I was at a laundromat in South Carolina that their Speed Queen washing machines. That's an app. It's like you never spend it all. You always leave a few cents here and there.
right.
The courts are banks.
Yep.
The post office is a bank. The post office used to be a bank before what we know as banks.
Yeah.
So yeah, we need to be banks.
We need to be banks. They unbanked you, right? So that's my idea. That's the concept. Is like, well, you know, you've been hearing about all these billions of people all over the world that remain unbanked, you know, but I'm talking about to the people that are banking in the traditional system. They need to become unbanked in that system and then banked with themselves, bank you, right? So it's a play on words built in that unbanked you kind of verbiage that I saw and I thought was interesting. I was like, it's about you and it's about us. Right? That you means a lot. And I was like, okay, how can I build a system around this? That's where my wallet setup comes in because banks have an infrastructure and a foundation and a system like Coach was so eloquently speaking on that works, right? And I've built this system because I know it works. 10 to 11 years of trial and error and I know this works. I know how to help a person go from not being in crypto to being in crypto and understanding crypto, using crypto and leveraging the blockchain to have another option, another opportunity in banking for themselves. And we know what that means, right? So again, don't have to go too deep on this. If you do a simple Google search, if you just ask your chat GPT, hey, what are the current, you know, concepts in, you know, being unbanked or banking for yourself in DeFi, or just ask it some questions. And guess what? You're going to get quality answers, but it's time. I feel like it's the best time that we've ever had to really engage people on the conversation because now you can't escape it anymore. You can see articles like this all over the web, and there's some even more in depth and more striking. You know, when you start seeing how the actual traditional banks are moving right now to set up stable tokens for themselves because they know they couldn't beat the technology, they can only adopt it and play the game, and that's you know, it's kind of, I don't know, I'm not going to lie. I feel good because I realized I was doing the right thing by helping people at that time. But now it's like, okay, now I'm going to take the bull by the horns and slow down the speed up and really build something around it. And, you know, beyond that, all of you all bring value in different facets that connects and that brings a synergy to that idea that still is in the traditional space that we're not aware of as well, like Janet, you know, and Amanda were speaking on earlier. And then Coach, I don't know if you mentioned what you're building right now as well, but I want you to talk about that too, because I think it's important that not only are we, getting positioned in the DeFi space, but we're getting positioned in the traditional space as well. And entering a world that has always been available and accessible to us, but no one was there to guide us that we could trust, or maybe we got quote unquote guidance and they left us hanging, right? It happens a lot in the space. So I'm just being real transparent here. You know, I've been there, spent tens of thousands of dollars on gurus and people that said they could, you know, put a trust together and get my corporation set up and do all these things. And, you know, because I was clueless. I just knew it was something that I needed because I understood it. I started to learn about it. But now is the time, because of relationships and connections, that we're starting to remove the guesswork and get right to the heart of the matter. And that's empowering people and educating people and setting them up properly, and no fluff, no gotchas, no gimmicks, right, Coach? That's what it's all about. So go ahead, Coach. I want you to share a little bit on that too, because I think that's very, very important that people start to understand. Not only are we moving to a DeFi space, but we also want to leverage and utilize the space that we're familiar with in a way that has maybe some, you know, different path. There's different pathways to actually enter that space, and it comes through relationships and just, again, people that know what they're doing, right? And they're not in it for the money. They're in it for the value that they bring to people. And I think that's important. I hope y'all can hear me the whole time. My audio, I know it's been funny. Yeah. Good.
I don't know if Coach is still with us.
I see him on there, but he may be muted out or something. But I just wanted to make sure we got that out there. But yeah, this is good. So, you know, again, some of the topics that I wanted to cover as well, you know, outside of just crypto and blockchain and just business, you know, there's a lot going on. I think the World Cup is interesting. I think, you know, a lot of things that are going on politically in our world. And, you know, I think we still got multiple wars going on amongst all this, you know, exciting things. There's quite a bit, you know, and I think, man, how can I say this? You know, the world is very interesting right now. I feel like everything is on like level 1000. You know, like it's nothing that's just, you know, I mean, if it's the weather, if it's something that happened in sports, if it's something politically happening, if it's something in entertainment, everything is always like this, oh my God, like nothing is just, you know, oh yeah, you have to pay attention and kind of, you know, people are magnifying everything is what I'm saying. I feel like everything is so magnified because we have these devices, right? Everything's something to discuss. And those are some of the things I want to talk about as well. You know, I think we have to start to get away from some of the distraction and get into some of the things that really matter, you know, that really move us forward. And those things I want to bring to these sessions as well. Because it's important, right? I mean, like I said before, you know, this is humanity, right? We all have differences. We all have different lifestyles. We all have different experiences, but really we only want 5 or so of the same things. We want good health. You know, we want to be successful. We want our kids to have an education and grow up safe in an environment. You know, we want to travel. You know, we want to experience beautiful, amazing things the world has to offer. And that's really it. Let's be honest. What else is there, right? So that's all I'm saying, is that we have more in common than we do that we don't have in common, right? We have more things that are really important. The really important things, we have more in common of those things than the things that really are frivolous and don't really matter. And we're wasting our time on that stuff. So anyway, I can just go down that rabbit hole too. But yeah, I'm excited about these sessions, and I want more participation. You know, I want to see more people pop in here. This is the first one, and we'll have more people pop in. I think we may have had an issue with the link that I initially sent out. Oh, I'm sorry, Coach.
There's so much we can talk about, and there are so many interesting rabbit holes. So I think what it comes down to for me is to realize when I'm just spinning my wheels and it's not productive. I mean, some of it's really fascinating. There are certain topics out there because, you know, 2020 just like unleashed a whole level of research. You know, there's information that
if your mind didn't open up to like what is going on right there, you missed it. Yeah.
Some people get stuck in the right or wrong, and if you're not in my camp, you're in their camp, and at the end of the day, for me, if it doesn't bring value, I can't afford to give it my attention. Now there's like this one particular YouTube channel, I won't even say what it is, but every now and then I go to it and I binge, and it's really far out, and it's kind of like doppelganger, like kind of, who's really out there. And
Yeah.
I find it all fascinating, but I also think, I get into like, I love the ancient Toltec. I like ancient wisdom. I like information that's come from old books. And so I just try to view things as more to just witness. It's like, I'm here to witness. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I'm a certain age. I've made my choices. I'm here. From now on, I kind of feel like we're all stuck in this place till we figure it out together anyway, right?
Yep. There you go. Exactly. We might as well discuss some things and and really find some commonality in things and then build things, build things and structure things and manifest things that we know could empower and help and bring value to the community. And that's what this is about, that's really the foundation of all this. Even the My Wallet setup, like I could easily just do that on the side, but I felt like I needed people to see that I was serious. That's what I'm saying. That it's a real viable thing that really could bring value to your situation if you allow it to happen, right? If the timing is right, if you're ready. It's not going to be something people are going to do right away overnight. But yeah, that's the deal. Like you talking about, Janet, the tribe. How can I help people with that one person at a time, and then that person understands and learns, and they can pass it on to the next person. The ripple effect of that is I want that foundation to be solid, so there's always something to bounce off of, or individual to leverage, and it's bigger than just the crypto. The crypto is what I know and what I do, but man, there's all kinds of amazing technologies as AI. There's all kinds of people building amazing tools in different categories that matter, to people, and that will matter to people, but we don't know if we don't talk about it, right? So that's the bigger picture. So yeah, I'll coach you back on up. My bad. I was looking at my share screen. I wasn't realizing that
Yeah,
you
for
weren't
some
even
yeah.
on the stage.
No, for some reason I couldn't hear Janet, so I logged out and
Right,
logged back in, and I
right.
was able to get her. It
All
just,
good.
these, being in communications, I understand how, work serving in the military for 24 years in communication. I
Oh
understand
man,
how this stuff works. So
all day.
sometimes you have to reconnect and hey, all
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
But I heard everything everybody been saying, man. I'm in agreement. Ken, I've known Ken since before I retired. I think I retired in 2010, so I met Ken. I got to San Antonio in 2007. So I met Ken around, yeah, my last 3 years I was in San Antonio. So I met Ken 8, 9 time frame, and we've been there ever since, doing stuff. But some things, Ken, I'm gonna say some couple books that really caught our attention. I know they're gonna bring back, but since I'm able to looking at systems and process, because that's what I did in the military. I used to manage large communication systems. And when there was a problem, we did what we call fault isolations. We
Mm,
had to go figure out what the problem was that's causing us not to communicate, from the Indian Ocean all the way back to the White House, you name it. I did a submarine communication. I done did them all, strategic, real world communication. I tell Ken, when we didn't communicate, people died,
mm.
point blank. Or if we didn't communicate, y'all remember the movie Crimson Tide when Denzel Washington and Gene Hackman were arguing about the code, the lunch
Yeah,
codes?
yeah, yeah. I
I was
remember
at
that.
my first duty station in Maine. I was in charge of the Eastern Atlantic broadcast for the entire submarine force. So if we went on the air more than 5 minutes, we was thought that we was at war and these missiles ready to launch, and they
Mm,
was aimed at Russia. This is real. This ain't nothing new. I'm not declassifying that. That's just real what was going on. So the
mhm,
movie really struck home to me,
mm.
because understanding how system works, and then when you don't communicate, what happens. So I'm saying all this to say this. Ken, you remember about
Uh,
probably about 8 years ago, probably nine, right before COVID, we was talking about the 4 agreements, the book.
yeah, that was what's the guy's name?
Yeah,
Oh, I
I
can't
know,
remember,
but hold
but
on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Luis.
yeah,
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 but we talk about the 4 agreements. Think about it.
yeah,
Those they are so powerful if you
yeah.
understand what they are and how they are to be utilized. But a couple years ago, well, last year, Ken, what book we came out? Mel Robbins, the 5 second rule.
Yes. Awesome book.
If you're operating in the 4 agreements, It only takes 5 seconds to understand if somebody's gonna really operate with you. Don't get caught up in all that.
Right.
5 seconds. She said 5 seconds. Make your decision, keep moving. Then
Right.
she came out with the follow-up book called Let Them.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the 3 books. Ken, those 3 books I'm really
Powerful.
laying into now as I break down systems and how we use them every day. And I'm really big into the financial system of how money works and how we allow our money to work for us. We've seen it time and time again where people who work minimum jobs, 30 to less than 50,000, retire with massive wealth because they know who they are. They use that money and they learn how to trade stocks. They learn how to do different things. So learning these systems is so key. But before we can do anything, like Janet said, you got to learn yourself first.
That's good.
I got a sign behind me that says, believe in yourself. But the B and the U is in bold red. It says be you.
That's good. Yeah.
You can't believe in yourself if you don't be you. We try and be everybody else, but we're trying to believe in ourselves. But I'm trying to think like Gary Vee. I'm trying to do like Russell Branson. I'm trying to be like all these other people, and I don't even know who I am. So Janet, I applaud you for what you're saying. I'm 59, so age ain't nothing but a number. That's what I came up listening to Aaliyah back in the day. So don't let the age, don't let the number fool you. It's the wisdom that you have that's the goal. It's the knowledge you have, the experience, and now you're learning your system to share it, and everybody ain't gonna get it.
That's right.
Find your 4 agreements, give them 5 seconds, and let them live their life. I promise you, you're gonna feel a lot better. Family, friends, I had to do it with family, I had to do it with friends. I just let people live. I share content. If they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. Oh well. But you know what? There's a lot of people out here sharing content that never talks to people. They never talk to people. They share content. People go buy their content and keep going.
Yeah.
How many books you go buy, Ken, on Amazon, Kindle, to read? You never talk to the author.
Man, come on. Hundreds.
You just buy their books.
Audio books. Yeah. Books is just, yeah.
The best thing you wish you can get out of author is you had a book signing contest and you can get him or her to sign it. That's it. But we buy all this stuff, never talking to people. And it's going to continue to grow because of technology. We got to learn this technology. And this technology can help us go find out anything you want. So I'm telling everybody, learn AI because I'm learning to learn every day.
Right. Yeah. Let's talk about AI. Let's talk about that because, you know, it's taken a lot of the guesswork, you know, out of, you know, anything really. If you know how to prompt it, if you know what to ask, and that's how let
me hit that word right there. Prompt. Let's stop saying that word.
Yeah. What you got?
Prompting. Everybody talking about prompting. No. We already prompt. We already know how to prompt. We do it on YouTube, Google. We know how to go search.
True. It's search. Yeah, that's what it is.
It's a search.
It's a search. Yeah, you're right. Wow. Think about that.
It's prompting. Yeah. We've been doing this forever.
Yeah.
We've been prompting forever, but we just don't call it prompting. We just call it searching. We searching. Right. Remember, they came up with the term search engine optimization.
It feels like something new, but it's really not new. Yeah.
But if you improve your search requirements, you're gonna get better results. Like remember, I was saying, ask better questions, get better results.
Exactly.
Answers.
Yeah.
AI is the same way. If you give it better information, it can give you a better pattern. It can predict a better pattern. It's not going to give you the number one answer. It's going to predict a better pattern. It's up to you to make it verify what it gave you.
Yeah. Right.
So if it comes back with this, and go and say, now give me some sources to validate what you just said.
Yeah.
It'll go back. And if it can't find them, I promise you, it's going to say, well, I couldn't find them, so I'm going to have to retract that.
Right.
It's going to retract it. I've had it do that to me on several times. I say, give me the sources of where you came from, because it's just searching data out there. But if you look, when it comes back, sometimes it has the source right next to the information.
Right.
You got to pay close attention. So it's just a large language model looking at patterns that people ask questions.
That's what it is.
It goes find the answer. That's all it is. But if you get your questions right, you get your pattern of how you want it to respond to you, it's gonna respond.
Yeah,
It's gonna give you.
that's
So
right.
that's what I have to say about that.
Yeah, and another thing, you know, it's not new. I think that's
No.
key, because how long have we had Siri and
Yeah.
Alexa? I mean, it's not new. It's just a new way, a new in a new evolution of what was already there, right?
Mhm.
I think a
You
lot
know,
of people letting it go over their head. No, you've been participating with AI for years, and you had no idea what you were doing. But
Yeah.
now all that data that has been collected, all that information that has been put into systems is now being used with these large language models, and they're just better. They're just faster. They're just more intuitive. They create, they build. They're amazing, actually, when you really look at what you have at your hand. So, yeah, don't be afraid of the technology. You've already lived through multiple iterations of it. It's not new. It's just fresh. It's another concept that of an idea that was already there that you've been participating in as long as you had one of these for the last 20
you know
years. Yeah.
what's crazy, if I can say this, is that it's probably maybe as recent as 2 months ago that I heard about OpenClaw and using agents.
Hmm. Hmm.
Mhm.
So I've been thinking, oh, I need to do that, and first I need to do this, and I've had my learning curves trying two different personal AIs, and both didn't work out for whatever reason. But then recently I find out, like, the token Olivia is
Hmm.
all, it's agents. So it's like investing in an agent. And not only, I mean, I didn't even know that what an agent was, but
Right.
now there's a token, and this company, they've been around since like 2019, and they have some 20,000 agents that you can eventually rent. I mean,
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's crazy. So how can we, if you're going to be in business today, how can you not take advantage
Hmm.
and jump into the AI stream? I mean, and even if you're set, I have a lot of friends my age who are retired, and they just want to be with their grandkids, or they just want
Yeah.
to travel. They never had kids. They just want to travel and not see anybody. They just want to eat nice food all over the world. Like, that's all great. But if you're going to participate in this world in business or with your own offspring, you,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
got to decide. You got to decide if you're going to put
Yeah.
one little toe in the water, or if you're going to put a foot in, or if you're just going to jump in and swim.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a decision you have to make. Coach and I, we talk about that a lot. People are gonna, do what people do. They're gonna sit back, they're gonna wonder, they're gonna have opinions about it. Some people are gonna take action. There's always a variety of people that are, you know, taking advantage or leveraging or a level of understanding over a certain topic. And again, we can't help everybody, but we're here to assist. We're here to educate everybody, but that doesn't mean they take advantage of the information. That's just part of it, right? But yeah, you can, if you want to, not leverage or use AI if that's something you want to do. But trust me, there is a lot of value in understanding that technology, leveraging the technology. It makes your business better. It could even make your life run a lot smoother. It could literally schedule your day, your week, your month, your year with the right information, right? So it's something that I believe in 20 years we'll look back, and I mean, I can only imagine in 5 years what we're able to do with it. Because what we're able to do right now, we can build a website in 3 minutes or less, 5 minutes. We could build out an app in 30 minutes, fully capable, fully. I have a friend of mine that is out of the country right now, and Coach, I sent you the message last night, and he says they have technology right now with the AI. His mind is blown. What he can build, what his team of AIs can build, it's like a $50,000 website in seconds, in minutes, fully functional, checkout, everything. I mean, all of it. The- it's mind blowing, right? And that's why I say I don't want people to get lost in the sauce, so to speak. Like, don't think that it's not something that you could do because it sounds too big. No, dip your toe in the water, get an understanding, because you're going to have to know how to move in this space, or you're going to get left behind, right? We want to leverage, not get left. and that's kind of another rabbit hole. But it's the most exhilarating, exciting time to be alive, and at the same time, the most unpredictable and volatile. At the same time, it's like all that in one timeline, and here we are. But that's why I like what we're doing here, because we all need to come to some type of consensus that, yeah, I understand, I get it. How can we do this? How do we get better? How do we learn? How do we give value? How do we grow together? Right? That's what the you means. The unbanked you, the you meaning you and me, us together. Figuring this stuff out. Because again, I can't see everything. Coach can't see everything. Kevin, Janet, Amanda, we can't see everything and hear everything. But as a collective, we could start to get more value, right? And that's what it's all about. So yeah, AI is something else, man. It's and crypto and AI, they're tandem, right? One can't succeed. AI can't succeed without crypto, because everything that the fuel that runs artificial intelligence is cryptocurrency, is the technology. So it's just funny how that works. How this timeline that we're in is bringing these two very important technological advanced things to us, and one can't survive without the other, right? In a way, it's very interesting. So, Kevin Foster, I see you, my brother. What's going on? We got two people on the same stream there, Kevin and Janet. Good to see you.
Oh, there it is. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out this Apple how to unmute.
Oh, it's all good, man. It's all good, man. Good to see you, man. How's the wife? How's everything?
Good. Sorry, I was actually out giving her some time, doing some walking. We do our little 2 mile after.
That's good.
I got to get up, do the dogs early before it gets too hot, and then.
Yep. It gets hot. I know. Good to see you, man. But yeah, we're about wrapping up now. I mean, we can hang out. I think we kind of figured out over the years, these meetings that we have, or these conversations that we have, could go a little longer than planned, because people like to express things and have opinions and just talk shop about whatever's going on. But yeah, how y'all feeling about this World Cup, man? Let's talk about the World Cup. I mean, it's coming to a head here. I know I saw Argentina get a crazy win yesterday. I've been following. I coached soccer with my sons years ago, so I understand the game a little bit, but I don't follow it on a professional side like Messi and Ronaldo and all these amazing characters that are really talented all over the world. But it's been interesting to see, the humanity, the masses of people. That's one thing I can't say about soccer. I don't think there's another sport that brings people together like soccer. It's amazing to see. It's like you see the places in these cities where they're just waiting on a goal. It could be 0-0 for 4 hours and then they score. And I mean, it's like the camera's shaking. It's like a seismic event. It's crazy to see it. It's amazing to see it. And I feel like I need to take a flight in the next 4 years and find a place to go wherever they're going to be and just experience that, like bucket list type. I need to go watch the World Cup somewhere, and be a part of that energy. But I've loved to see it, the competition, the stories that have come out of there. The Cape Verde team was amazing. But anybody got any just feelings on that? Because, this is, like I said, Crypto Collabs, Coffee. We just having conversations here. But I just wanted to kind of change the vibe a little bit and get into maybe some sports or something.
Just think about it, though. 6 months ago, we weren't even thinking about the World Cup. Everybody was worried about immigration and all this stuff.
Gosh,
and then think about it. Nobody talk about none of that stuff now.
Right.
Because I told everybody back then, Ken, I said, y'all know how our system feel about it. If they really felt about all the stuff that we see every day, they would cancel this stuff. They're not, because it's money.
Right.
Once we get to understand that everything is about the money, these systems, they don't really care about our race, color, creed, religion, our doctrine. They don't care.
Yeah.
It's about money. And once we realize that out and understand how these systems work, that's how we're going to be able to take advantage of it. But they're going to keep all us distracted with all this different stuff.
Yep. The tool, it comes and it goes.
Yeah, leave it to Coach to bring the real talk. I'll talk about. Let's talk about the exciting game, Coach.
No,
it's a distraction, but no,
nobody in 2 months. Nobody gonna talk about the World Cup.
It's true. It's very true. It's very true. I love.
Think about it. I'm in
on
Atlanta.
to something else.
Hey, I'm here in Atlanta. It's huge.
Yeah.
I don't even go downtown anyway, but they have the Atlanta, out of all the cities in the U.S., have had their fan fest has been. They getting 200-some thousand people a day downtown Atlanta.
Yeah.
just going through the fan fest.
Right.
They even had to do it the extra day. But what I'm saying, all this in what it ends next month, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? When it ends, guess what happened? We right in the heart, 2 weeks away from college football starting and
Yep.
NFL starting, 3 weeks from NFL. Nobody's gonna talk about the World Cup. It's just people more into football.
Raiders.
Raiders.
Yeah, you know, so it's just gonna go right into that. And then guess what? Baseball gonna be at its highest point because it's getting
Right.
ready to start the
On to
playoffs.
something else. Right.
So it's just gonna keep going. So I always tell Kim, man, I just don't get caught up no more. And I'm a big sports fan.
Yeah.
My whole room down here is red, as y'all can see. I'm a Georgia Bulldog fan. They call it the red room. I love everything Georgia, but
We got us a bunch of Bulldogs on them Raiders now.
yeah, they'll say, "Go, you want to win? Go get you some dogs."
We
Dog.
did.
But you know, just
Yeah.
think about that though, Ken. That's what I'm talking about. But what are we gonna be passionate about 6 months from now? I tell you,
Wow.
are you still gonna? Is coffee and is this gonna continue to grow? Yes, because the realness you're gonna bring is not just about the wallet. It's about the collaboration.
Yes.
It's about communicating with people. The wallet is just something that we all need.
Right.
That's just something we all need. But it's really about collaborating with people and helping people understand what is about to happen, understanding this blockchain system.
Yeah. Yeah.
Understand how not only just about these tokens and these coins, it's
Yeah.
about how this blockchain, Ken, as we always say, is gonna transition to healthcare, how it's gonna transition to logistics. You're gonna need a wallet for everything.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
gonna
very
need
important.
wallets. So I tell people,
black
Yeah.
box theory.
yeah, it's however, whatever rabbit hole we want to go down, you're
Yeah.
gonna need a wallet.
For sure.
So-
For sure. For
Let's
sure.
go back to the basics. Don Tapscott talked about it early in 2015. Black
Yep.
box. Your name's on the outside. Everything else is tucked away on the inside, and you only give out what you want to who you want.
Right.
And they can't see nothing inside.
Right. So just to tap on what Coach was mentioning, here talking about the follow the money. Here's you. I don't know if you can you all see the screen I'm sharing, but
No,
it talks
you're
about.
Right at the moment.
I'm not sharing. Let me see. Let me go back here. Let me see. I thought I was sharing it. Oh, you know what? I got to do this. There we go. That layout might work better. All right. Can y'all see it now?
Hang on a sec. You don't.
Can y'all see it?
No.
Let me
Well,
see.
it's black.
Hello?
Oh, hold on. Let me
Dark
see.
screen.
Yeah, I know what it is. I know what I did. I'm still figuring out this tech here. But this is interesting because this is what we're talking about here. Right there. Now, can you see it? This is just a simple search. Still can't see it? Okay, I'm just going to read it. So it says Houston heavily invested in the 2026 FIFA World Cup through nearly $500 million in civic infrastructure and $65 million public safety budget. Officials projected $1.5 billion economic boost. The payoff for local businesses has been uneven. 200 permanent projects were completed, 400 lanes, miles of resurfaced streets, $100 million in drainage improvements, $84 million in sidewalks. This is Houston, the fourth or third largest city in the country. Public safety, sustainability, So, Coach, you're right. You think about it. You think these, these corporations and these counties and these cities, put all that investment in to not get a return? They're looking for a return on their money, right? They're looking for that investment to pay off, right? And it's just really interesting when you start. You don't got to go too far. You can just do a quick search, and there it is. So you're absolutely right. It's going to be on to the next thing that generates more profit, that generates more interest, that generates more ad rev, spend, blah 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 blah. Right, traffic, things of that nature. Yeah, if you pay attention to those things, and then you realize you're just a fan, you're just a consumer of all of it. That's the mindset we want to kind of turn off and realize we need to be more. Make a concerted effort to be more of investors or thinking like investors and figuring out how we can monetize and how we can leverage, the things that are going on every single day, every single quarter. There's something else to pay attention to, right? So, yeah, I just want to put that out there. You're right, Coach. It is about the money. Follow the money, and you'll find the value, or you'll see what's really going on, right?
Have you guys ever heard of Transurfing reality?
Transurfing, never heard of that.
It's written by a Russian man. He actually, what I heard, my partner Ben, he's more into, he's had more time to get into it than I have. But it's like Zealand Vreeland or something. He's Russian, and he read a lot of the ancient Toltecs, not just Don Miguel Ruiz, but like the Carlos Castaneda, like, because Carlos Castaneda was from a lineage of ancient Toltecs. And apparently it's interwoven in that. But in Transurfing Reality, it's not about money or finance, but he talks about the pendulums. I won't get into it now, but something that you were saying, it feeds into, because it's like everything is, that's the world we live in. There's the pendulum is always going to swing one way, and then it's going to swing the other way. It's like, it's like we're going to have all the Democrats in office for a while, then eventually swing. Everything always swings. And so the idea is to always be aware of the pendulum swinging. And to try to stay out of it, to try to stay in that middle ground, because the pendulum is always going to be trying to garner group consensus and keep everybody. Well, I mean, if you get into simulation theory or something and it being processing power, it's like, it's all about conserving processing power. It's easier to manage hordes of people if everybody does it one way. But then you have these errant spirits like us who, it's not about bucking the system, but we're like, well, you know what? I know everybody's doing that, but my gut's saying don't do that. So anyway, just wanted to throw that out. That's a cool body of work.
But you know what I learned
on YouTube and what have you.
But no, Janet, that goes back to what I be talking about all the time, the system. Because irregardless of how we may feel or think or what we may believe, you still got to understand how the system works and what we currently live in. And right now, one of the things that people don't realize is, and Ken, I've really been researching this, and I finally put it all together yesterday, was will, power, attorney, and trust. Those three directives. I don't care. See, it's not people think you need them if you got money. No, you need them to protect yourself. So if something happens to you, you know what goes to your family, when it goes, and how it goes. If not, it falls into the system, which they call probate. And now probate, they do whatever they want. It's within their system. But only thing you needed was 3 pieces of paper to keep it out of probate. I was reading an article yesterday about, I don't know if you guys, people might know Nipsey Hussle. He was a artist, a rapper, but he was really into the community in Compton. Very big. I mean, he did a lot. He was all about investing, teaching. It wasn't your typical. Was not your typical artist who was just doing crazy stuff. But his estate went into probate for the last 7 years. $11 million that was supposed to go to his kids was in probate for 7 years, all because I'm assuming they didn't have these 3 documents in place, and if they did, they weren't correct. A lot of people got a wills and power of attorney, but that trust is the big key, and how they go with the trust. Making a long story short, the state got anywhere from 3 to 10% of that $11 million because it went to probate. And I tell people all the time, make sure you got your paperwork right, because paperwork, documentation beats conversation all day long. We can be some brilliant minds, brilliant thinkers, but when you fall back into their system, this governmental system, you better know how it works, or they're going to take your earnings, they're going to take your belongings, they're going to do a whole lot of things from you. But getting the documents right, making sure we understand how these systems work. And I love what you said, Janet. It is that pendulum. It is. And that's when you got your 4 agreements. Hey, you agreeing with everything. You're not caught up in the emotions of going what everybody else doing. You just locking in on where you need to go. You still pay attention, but you don't let it move you. You still understand where it's going, but you're not emotionally swayed by it no more. You just going with the flow, because okay, that sounds good. It even looks good. It even tastes good, but it's not for long-term consumption. So let me just go back over here and continue to do what I'm doing.
You're muted, Ken.
You're muted, Ken.
Can't hear you.
Can't hear you. Yep, can't hear you. Sometimes these things, I noticed on mine, if somebody called me and I'm on my phone, it takes my mic away. I have to log back in.
Yeah, same here.
Still can't hear you. That's a trip. So Demetrius, I met a guy in 2020, I want to say. His name is Dennis Gray. He's out of Las Vegas. And he puts together what are called unincorporated nonprofit associations. And he encourages people to put all of their assets in these separated. That way, like, for instance, you own a recreational company, and in the winter you do snow, like snow sports, but in the summer you do water sports, let's say. So in the wintertime, let's say somebody has an accident on one of your vehicles, they try to sue you. That asset is completely separate from every other asset that you own. Like that business asset now is totally separate. They can't go after any of your other personal assets. They can't go after any of your property. There you go. You're back.
Okay, cool. Go ahead.
But they're pretty cool. It's kind of a hard concept to grasp. Ken, I think, might remember Dennis Gray.
Yeah.
Oh, I know about it. I know. I don't looked up his stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
The difference between a trust and that would be a good question.
Yeah.
Dennis believes they're stronger than a trust.
It no matter. If this is the thing about it, it don't matter what people believe. It's what the system is going to approve. I tell people all the time, you can believe what you want.
Yeah.
But when you get into that judicial system and that court of law, it's what they're gonna abide by. Some states will do it, some states won't.
Yeah, jurisdiction matters. Yeah, where
jurisdiction matters.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so that's one of the big things I learned. It could work, but it might can work in California, Washington State, but in Georgia, it might not work. It might not be a law. So you just have to. That's part of a. Save yourself.
The pendulum, yeah.
But that's part of the save yourself in the system. Do your own due diligence so you can realize what it is. So, like I said, I love the knowledge. Yeah, I looked into. I'm still looking into that unincorporated, Kevin.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
Oh, I mean, it works.
My wife and I are secretary and treasurer. There's no president anymore, so we have like control to do everything, but there's nobody to go after as far as. There's nobody that actually owns it.
Right.
Yeah, they do that. They do that inside of their system. They do that with corporations as well.
Yep.
It's no same, but like I say, but
it is an unincorporated nonprofit.
Yeah, but you can pierce the corporate veil. If you can pierce it, then guess what? That's what it's about. So it's like I say, it's more than one way to skin this cat.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I was just talking about that pendulum when I was muted again. I was speaking on what Janet was saying, and I just love the way that analogy just kind of placed me right there in the middle. Like Coach said, don't get distracted. Don't get, pulled in. Just understand that it's there. Understand that it's something happening, but always stay focused on, the main thing. And, for us, obviously that's leveraging and bringing value and helping and sharing and communicating in a way to where we can all kind of, rise up in a way to kind of create our own system, and it's possible, right? There's people out there doing it. So, yeah, that was good. Before I was so rudely disconnected by my technology.
Back to your sports, again, bro. My thing is UFC, bro, and they just had that big UFC 250 event.
Oh, yeah, I love UFC.
The White House thing.
Yeah, I like
that
UFC.
Was bringing all of the political crap.
Oh yeah, my gosh! Everybody has something to say. Well, anything Trump does, nowadays, not nowadays, since the beginning, everybody has an opinion.
Dude,
that's fine.
Watch WrestleMania like 4, 5, and 6, and they were all at like Atlantic City, and Trump was involved in it all. Yeah. Everybody's loving on Trump back then.
Oh yeah. Everybody
loved him in the boxing world.
Things can change.
Oh,
there's a lot of that stuff crazy. Back in the day. He was just somebody that was a famous, wealthy guy, and when he showed up, people celebrated him, and and whatever, but you have a tendency to bring a magnifying glass everywhere he goes now, because you can't do anything right, and to some people, and then he can't do no wrong to other people. And there's the pendulum swing, right? We're okay. Let me stop just focusing here and focus here.
We're all armchair quarterbacks in that regards.
Yeah.
None of us are sitting in that spot.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
None of us really qualified to sit in that spot. And here we are passing judgment on it.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of that, going on as well. That's a whole lot of
areas
in life.
Demetrius.
Nah, I say nobody's qualified.
Right?
It's who they elect. It's who they nominate.
That's a whole nother
Who they
rabbit
appoint. Let's say that. Who they appoint.
Yeah, who they appoint. So nobody's qualified. I mean, I love it. I love it. I just sit over here and the day people be getting all emotional. I be over here drinking a smoothie. I'll be like, bro, it's all puppet master.
The strings going crazy.
The ball.
Hey, here we go. The system again. Let's go back to these systems. What's gonna stress you out? What's gonna take away your time, your energy, and your money?
And it's so true, man. That's really what's happening.
If you don't understand it, it's gonna drive you crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a question I had for people, when we kind of, between, COVID taking place in 2020 and everything that, people were so hot and cold about, or, had so much synergy or energy over. I was like, think about, all this political unrest and all these decisions that these, qualified people have made for the country or the whole or a certain section of people or whatever. And really ask yourself, which one of these bills has really affected my life? Like, it really mattered that was passed. Like, really, there's probably a few, but overall, it's just talking points, right? I'm just really ask yourself, not, I'm not going to go down and try to check off the boxes of which one and all that, but just think about it. I think we have more control over our lives than they do. And I've just kind of figured that out. I was like, what I do matters more than what some individual, in the Senate or Congress, is they're fighting for my vote or whatever, or, they're raising money to get my vote, or, putting advertisements out for my vote and all these things. But does their policy really matter? Did it really matter? Did it really affect me? I don't know. It's just really interesting. I start asking myself those questions, and, I was coming back with a resounding no for a lot of it, It's like, not really. But what were the things that I was deciding to do? What were the actions that I was taking? What were some of the, that mattered more than how my life played out than anything else, So again, the pendulum swing, I just realizing that, I got to kind of step out, of that circle or that influence and start to figure things out, with my tribe or the people that I know that have kind of the same mindset. I'm just kind of getting, that kind of collective, a feeling or that collective understanding that, we're all going through some stuff, but that stuff really doesn't matter. It really doesn't. But they make it seem like it matters by putting it in front of you all the time, 24/7. You can't even unplug from it unless you just yank it out the wall. Like, I'm done. It's you're going to see it. You're going to hear it. So yeah, there's that. But this has been good, man. I don't know. Anybody else got anything? Coach, you talked about the different things that the trust and those different things. You're working on an amazing platform. Feel free to share that. Kevin, you're working on something I feel like has a lot of value as well with Nexora and things of that nature.
What all did you guys talk about earlier when on Nexora when I was gone?
We didn't cover it much, no detail. We just kind of let people know what it is, because there's a collective synergy that I want to create that that collabs inside of that that flyer that I made is more even though it's that last word there's the value is there. That's why there's a dollar sign on the S there. That the money, the value, the real meat of what we do here will be the collective type of collaboration that happens. And everybody's got something going on. Everybody's working on a project. Everybody's enrolled in a concept that they believe brings value to other people. And just love to hear about it, So yeah, but I'm involved. I actually got a position there with you guys, and was on their presentation and liked the concept, and still doing some due diligence on it. But I love the fact that it's decentralized, that they're leveraging the technology in a way that really empowers people. And it's so far so good, so it looks like something that'll be long term as well, the way it's structured. And those are some of the things that we look for. We look for that.
I'm loving the manifesto on this thing, and the white paper on Inception I think is pretty fire.
Yeah.
Just getting into it and starting to break down what their concept is, about projects coming into the node and you having the ability to participate if you want. Really, the only product Nexora is offering is the node itself.
Right.
So my biggest question now is what happens after 10 years to your node?
Right.
Why does it end at 10 years? Why can't we, why does it have to have a
10
stop?
years is a mighty long time. Yeah. Nothing lasts
there's a-
forever, right? So
Think about how many projects out there like that we know about that, offer endless.
But that's a good
Yeah.
thing, though, Kevin. Don't look at it from the negative point. At least there's an end date,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so you can prepare for it. A lot of times we
though is can you like reinitiate it? Can you restart it?
listen. I hear what you're saying. Take the assets you gain and reapply them into other assets.
right.
Don't. I hear what you're saying. Don't. That's their end game. You see,
Mhm.
remember, they control their project.
Mm-hmm.
We can't come. A lot of times we come in and we ask questions, but we don't control the project. They already got an end game because they probably gonna sell it. So you got to think about. This is how I view things now. A lot of times we come in. I wish this was this way. I wish this was that way. No,
Well,
come in, get what you can get out of it, and be ready to move. Because I
That's
guarantee you, if you don't control it, you don't control the day it stops.
True.
Right.
True.
that's
So-
what I got out of the presentation with Alex the other day was our goal is to get in low, get it to market. Once it's at market, that's our exit point.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
That's business.
Yeah,
No.
people don't. They don't create businesses to keep them. They create them to sell them.
Yeah.
Right. So they're already looking at, a coin going to $5 or $6 as an exit point.
Yeah.
They're not looking for anything to go say to $100 a coin or anything like that.
None of them are.
The other thing that I do like about it, I like the way they're vetting the companies they're bringing in to the project.
Yeah, that's always important.
And I like the fact that it's mostly existing companies with an existing customer base, or it's not like this company Olivio is around since 2019. They're just now tokenizing, and they've given a certain amount of the tokenization over to Nexus to be mined through their Exodus nodes or whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, do we have
That's
a
interesting.
thing with PK today?
I'm trying to get the message.
Yeah, we'll get to that. I know we're going to get to that, but yeah, that's good. I like the project again, and but the key thing that I always think about when I'm entering this space is diversification. You always want to never put all your eggs in one basket, right? That's key. So Nexora plays a role. There's different projects that play a role.
What do you know about
Coach
layer
Lee's doing.
0 when it comes to blockchain?
Layer 0, I mean, yeah, it's pretty in depth. There's so many different iterations and different structural things when you start to go down the rabbit hole of blockchain
I've never
technology.
even heard it really mentioned. Until
There's a lot.
Hey
There's a
man, I
lot.
got to get ready to go, Kim. So
Yeah, man,
I got
do your
another
thing,
call.
Coach. Appreciate it. Yeah, this is good.
Meet you,
Appreciate y'all being on.
Nice to meet you guys.
But,
Nice to see you again, Kevin.
Yeah,
Like,
Hey, good. Be
Okay.
safe out there. Always.
okay, I
bro.
will.
All right. We're going to wrap up. But yeah, I think there's a lot to be said about, blockchain, and we're going to get into those conversations. And, it's a lot to learn. But again, when you said layer 0, that put an antenna up. Now I'm just like, okay, I need to go, go down that rabbit hole and start to.
So they have a
understand that
coin.
more.
One of the projects is a layer 0 project.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's
Is
in
that-
your node that you have the ability to participate or not participate in.
Right.
And that's the other part. There's
Is that
no.
Essecia or Inception?
That's the CISA, I want to say,
Okay.
the ASET. And then the other one is, so the three core coins all have a major role. One is like the launch pad feature, which from my understanding, is how all blockchain projects have to get launched onto a blockchain. They have to go through a launchpad process. So here we are putting our investments into another tool. And we all know tools is where it's at more than typically the product.
Right.
You know, going back to that old gold mine theory, who really made the money? It was the tool makers. It wasn't the gold miners.
Yes, sir. The tools, they call it the picks and shovels.
So if we have a solid tool in the background that's steady, solid, and we're constantly earning from it, it starts giving you that roadmap of how it's going from connect, earn, spend, own.
I love that. Yeah. Yeah.
And it is bankless, bro. I mean, when you look at it, everything's internal. And if you can connect your Visa card to it and you never have to touch a bank, you're out of the system. Yeah. You're done.
Yeah. And so it says that layer 0 is a foundational infrastructure layer that sits beneath layer 1 blockchains like Ethereum, Bitcoin, providing the core networking hardware and cross-chain transfer protocols that layer 1 blockchains are built on. So it's almost like we're becoming our own
massive
blockchain
project.
It's huge. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. So it says layer 0 protocols can potentially address key challenges facing blockchain networks, including the blockchain trilemma. See, this is new stuff. By distributing tasks such as transaction execution and data availability across purpose-built chains. So layer 0 protocols give developers flexibility to launch custom blockchains with their own token models and consensus rules while inheriting security or communication features from the shared base layer. So it's like building underneath Ethereum, building under Cosmos or Bitcoin or chain, you know. It's interesting, man. This is the evolution, the growth in the space that we need to foundationally have people start to position themselves so we can learn this together, because if you blink, you'll miss it, right? But I'm glad you said that, because there's value here for sure. There's value here for sure. So yeah, that's interesting.
The coins actually, if what you own is linked to the company like a stock, there's your ownership.
Yeah, exactly.
That creates your ownership of it.
Right.
Now you own part of a layer 0 project that you're accumulating coins for on a daily basis before the general mass has access to it.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. I love it. I think it's obviously a conversation and a position that that we want to start to understand.
Their dev team, they also run their dev team worldwide, so they program devs up 24/7.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember, like when we were dealing with India or whatever, and we had to deal on basically in their time zone when we wanted to do stuff.
Yeah,
because they only worked certain hours in their time zone.
Exactly.
Well, they worked for freaking peanuts. I think it's awesome that these guys went and opened their market first.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I love it. So yeah, a lot to talk about on Nexora. Looking forward to that. Folks,
it's just you and me left, bro. I think.
Yeah. We're wrapping this thing up. You know, this has been the first one of many. Every Wednesday we're going to be here, 10 a.m. Central, 11 Eastern, to discuss anything and everything pertaining to, really, I think this is a life call, whether it's business, whether it's nutrition, whether it's sports, whether it's business, whether it's politics, whether it's just current events. We want to tap into a lot of different aspects of what we're all growing through, so to speak. So I appreciate you all chiming in. If you're seeing this after we went live, thanks for being here, watching, listening, learning. And I look forward to seeing and hearing from you as well. You know, bring value to the community and, opt in and start to learn, educate yourself, and position yourself for the inevitable, which is a truly 100% digital economy and beyond, really, is what we're looking at. So Thanks everybody for being here.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Janet, for being on early and being
A
our
consultant.
first. Yeah, appreciate you guys. Mr. Leverage Effect. I know. I look forward to the next one, and we're out of here. God
Right
bless
on,
everybody.
brother. Thank you again.
Bye,
Peace.
Aaron.
See you next week. Will do.